So, Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspur, the late kickoff on Sunday afternoon. A very eventful match. Two teams really been out of form in the Premier League and looking to get back to form and join that top group in the fight for European places. And going off of this evidence, it's looking like Tottenham Hotspur are the only one of these two sides that are going to be likely to do that. Spurs having run out 3-0 winners in this one at Old Trafford. And it really could have and should have been more. But one of the most pivotal moments in this match was when Bruno Fernandes, the captain on the day, was sent off for Manchester United just before the half-time mark. At this point, Spurs were already 1-0 up, and in truth, Tottenham had a lot of chances in this one. Johnson, of course, getting the opening goal for Spurs after just a few minutes, but then hitting the post and generally doing really well. Man United did have some chances. They were fashioning some chances. Garnacho, Xerxes, all coming close to opening the scoring for Manchester United, but not managing to do so. But this moment here really compounded Manchester United's misery, and indeed, just a few minutes after after the second half started, they were 2-0 down. 2-0 down and a man down as well. Even at home, it was a very much an uphill task, and one that unfortunately they never came close to completing. But should Fernandes have been sent off? Now, this is the big question that a lot of people are going to be asking. A lot of Manchester United fans are going to be asking. So what I'm going to do, and I've done some videos like this before, like when we did the Mateta offside and things like that as well. I'm just going to record this and I'm going to go and look at what is going on the other side of my screen here. So I'm just replaying the incident just like VAR would do, for example, and just like the referee would have seen in real time too. So James Maddison has got the ball, he's looking to go forward, then Fernandes comes rushing back. Now, I've got to admit that some of these, slow-mos and stills do look bad. They look worse than what they actually are in real time, which is something that VAR has a big problem with, really. But Fernandes, the way he comes in with this, he almost seems to misjudge Maddison's run, really. He doesn't think that Maddison's going to change his direction in the way that he does, and because of that, Fernandes kind of adjusts in a different way to make sure that he still stops him. Now, for me, without a doubt, without question at all, this is at least a yellow card incident, because the very fact that Fernandes is stopping Maddison making a counter-attack here, I think he's genuinely trying to win the ball here, Fernandes, but I also think he just misjudges it horribly. It is late as well, and I think that's one of the key things for me. It's very late, it's quite high as well. Maddison goes down, he's in a lot of pain. He will be in a lot of pain as well from that. It's right on the side of his leg, right on his shin kind of area, which anybody who's played football will know that hurts. That is a sensitive area of the body, even with shin pads on. And it's just the way, again, I'm just looking at this the same way VAR would have. And Fernandes, he slips, and that's a fact. He slips here, and that's one of the key reasons why I think Fernandes has a little bit of a defence, and I do feel a little sorry for him here. But the fact is that he's very late, he's very high with his tackle, it's bad. It's not a good tackle at all. And in truth, it's a tackle he really should not be making as well. That's one of the things we need to talk about here. Spurs absolutely run Manchester United ragged on their own patch this weekend. Spurs should not be doing it. With the greatest respect to Spurs, that should have been a lot closer game than what it was. These are two sides that should be on a relatively even keel. They're even in the same European competition, the Europa League, this season. So, going off of this evidence, there's only one of them that's going to do particularly well. Man United really are a mess on the field. So for me, I can totally see why he sent him off. You could say it's soft, you could say it's unfortunate that he slipped. I get that. I totally get that viewpoint. But unfortunately, with the rules of the game, that is a sending off. And the thing is as well, VAR will have looked at it, of course, like they look at every goal, every red card incident, they do that just as a matter of fact. And for me, it cannot be argued that is a clear and obvious refereeing mistake. You can definitely see where the referees come from that to give a red card. If I was a Man United fan, I'd be fuming at it, of course I would. But if I was a Spurs fan, I would totally understand why that's been given. And even as a neutral, I totally get why that's a red. Now, Fernandes has come out in the media, and fair play to him. And he said, it wasn't a sending off for me. There's no way it was that. It was yellow. Maddison, apparently, according to Fernandes, did say that's never a red card. Take that with a pinch of salt. I've not heard from Maddison yet. I don't know whether that's the truth or not. Fernandes is just trying to make a point. For what it's worth, I probably think it's what he said. But For me, I can totally see why he sent him off. And the thing is as well, and this is the biggest thing for Man United, they would have lost that game anyway. Spurs were absolutely running riot in that one. You could maybe see Man United getting a goal in the second half or something, but I never would have seen them coming back. Spurs would have just got another, and then a third and a fourth. Honestly, they could have and should have won by more today, Tottenham. 3-0 flattered Man United, that score, and it really did. With 11v11 though, they would have had more of a fighting chance, of course, and that's going to leave a bit of taste in the Man United fans' mouth. But this is, this is bad for Man United. And this is, I'll probably do a video this week going over Erik ten Hag and whether he should be sacked or not, because that's a question that a lot of United fans are going to be asking, especially after this. United are now 3 points ahead of Everton. We're a side that were doomed to relegation before. Now they've picked up the first win. That tells you how far off it Man United are. They're not even in the top half of the table. Early days of the season, of course, but it's a really bad sign. But Man United fans, what do you think? Am I right on this one? Is this sending off? You're not going to agree with me on this one. I will admit this. You will not agree with me on this. And you know what? I get it. I totally get it. We've all got different viewpoints at the end of the day, but I totally get why VAR wasn't involved. I get why it was a red card. But at the same time, if this was a yellow card, I wouldn't have blinked. I would not have blinked. It would have been like, yeah, can get why that's a yellow. I could see it either way. But for me, it's not a clear and obvious error, and I can see why he's given a red. Would I have given a red if I was a referee? I'm not a referee. I'm just a guy who talks about football here on the internet, but that's just my opinion on it. If I was a Man United fan, I'd be fuming, but as a Spurs fan, I'm very happy about it. I'm not a Spurs fan, I'm neutral on this, of course. My team's not even in the Premier League this season, so yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Sending off or not, and would Man United have got something out of that game had Fernandes not been sent off? Let us know your thoughts, and for much more football content, do keep it tuned here to thefootballchronicle.com. Comment, like, share, ring the bell as well as always, guys, and we'll see you very soon here on thefootballchronicle.com.